Hi, welcome to Moving Forward with Gayle Suzanne. This is a show about pressing through obstacles, pressing through challenges, and making it through to the other side. Today, I want to talk about not letting go of something or not giving up. This is something that I actually am making the show for myself because I need to hear this message. Not giving up and not letting go of your dreams, your desires, what you really want. And so many of us try, give it a little bit of effort, or even give it a lot of effort, and then we quit. And today's show, I want to go through some very important reasons why we should not quit. And some reasons why, if something's not working out, if we could shift our mindset, try some new things, do something different to make our dreams work. So I'll tell you what I'm struggling with. I have been a life coach for 5 years, a little over 5 years, and I recently have found myself in a position where I am not working full time. And it's been a few months, and I thought, well, now that I'm working on my coaching business 24/7, and this is multifaceted. This is speaking, this is having clients, this is workshops, all these things that I want to do with my coaching business, as well as write another book. And I've been working on it diligently, but I have a full-time job, so it's here and there, and it's exhausting working a full-time job and trying to build another business. So I figured now I have a few months of time to be able to dedicate to my coaching practice. And at the beginning, I thought, this is my dream, this is my huge dream, and I'm not going to give up, because I know that coaching helps people. I know that I have a lot of good insight and experience behind me that can help people, can motivate them, can encourage them, champion them, be on their side to help them reach their goals. So I know in my heart that this is the right thing for me to do. I know it. But sometimes life just gives us these obstacles that are so hard to overcome and puts these things in our path that are hard to get over and hard to press through. And sometimes life gives us just little tiny, I like to call them like little spits of success. My idea when I was on my own and not working anymore was that, well, now that I have time, the sky is going to open up and all these blessings and all this success is going to just come into my lap. And it's not happening that way, and it's frustrating me. And there have been times where I've wanted to give up. I have wanted to say, all right, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. You know, what I thought was the week after I quit my job, or I left my job, I was going to be making, 6 figures, and that would be it. And that hasn't happened. What I have done in the process is I have made contacts, I have networked, I have marketed, I have done so many things in my power that I can do. And the times that I felt like I can't do this anymore because I'm not at the point where I want to be, which is like, having a $5 million house and just reaching 80 million people, which is a little, my dreams were a little kind of out there and stretched. But anyway, every time I wanted to give up, what happened was the universe or some magical thing happened where I get a random email or a random phone call. Oh, Gayle, we want you for this conference that we're having. Or it's next year, but we really want to book you now for next year. Or I really like to see you. I want to be a client because I'm struggling with these things. Every single time I have thought in my head, and I haven't even vocalized it, but every time I said, I think I'm going to give up. I can't do this anymore. I'm tired. All my efforts are not producing what I want them to produce. Every time something like that happened, something good. The world might not have exploded, but it was something that told me, Gayle, keep it up because you're doing the right thing. Maybe it's not time. Maybe it's the big thing hasn't happened yet. But these little things, those little emails and those speaking engagement and thing kept me in the game. So what I decided to do was, because every now and then when I wanted to give up, and this has been over the past 5 years, and not really give up, but just slow it down, not put as much energy into it. What I decided to do was make a thankful journal. Every day, what good thing happened to me today journal, and put 3 things in it. It could be like I made a telephone contact with someone emailed me, or I sent out a couple of emails, or I wrote a couple of phone calls, or I had a nice conversation with this person. Because I think what happens with me anyway is I forget those little things that happen in the past when I was about to give up. I forget that phone call that I randomly get. I forget that coincidental meeting with someone that gives me a little bit of spark to continue on. I forget that conversation that I have with somebody that said, Gayle, this is really good and I really need something like this. Thank you for your encouragement. I forget those things because they're not catastrophic. They're not huge things. So I started to write them down in a journal every single day, something that helped my business move forward a little bit. And to be honest, looking back at that journal has helped me so much when I was in the place of just wanting to give up. Every one of us is born with talents and gifts and unique qualities that make us special for something, or makes us not even an expert, but just, I can't even think of the word. Every one of us is born with qualities, gifts, talents that maybe other people don't have. I think this is what I was born to do. I was born to encourage and help. And I think the reason why was because I had a very rough childhood. I had an alcoholic mother. It was a really tough situation growing up. I was bullied. I was abused. There was a lot of rough things that happened in my life that now, as an adult and as an older adult, I really want to encourage people, because I know how defeated and deflated I was as a young person. And now I don't feel that way anymore. So I know that coaching is for me, because I can have compassion for a person who's struggling, for who's going through a hard time, and help them and give them hope to say, you know what, you can really make it through this. You absolutely can make it through this. So that's my gift, I guess. You know, the gift of compassion, the gift of being able to see the beauty in other people when they don't see it in themselves. And the gift of encouragement. I can encourage people. I can't roller skate. I can't ski. I can't, you know, there are other people, so many other people in the world that can do everything else. You know, I go to a lawyer to help me with my legal issues. I go to an accountant to help me with my accounting. I don't know how to work a computer for anything, so I'll go to my niece to help me with that. So all of these people and all of you have gifts and talents. And if you have a dream that you have in your heart, that you're like, I know I want to do this, but it seems so hard. I have to go to school, or I have to be an apprentice, or I have to do an internship. And all these things are so difficult. I urge you to take things just one step at a time. I believe that the universe will tell us when it's time to back off and when it's time to move forward. And what I mean by back off, I don't mean quit. I don't mean give up. I mean maybe look at things again and reevaluate and maybe go in another direction. If I am, let's say if I'm spending, which I'm not, but let's say I'm spending $5,000 a month in marketing and I'm making $30 a month, and I continue to spend $5,000 in marketing every single month, yet the income I'm bringing in is $30, well, it doesn't mean I'm going to quit, which it could be very, very discouraging for me to say, oh my God, I'm doing all this marketing and nothing is happening. I'm only getting $30. Like it's balanced. I'm going to go bankrupt. So I think what stepping back means, it doesn't mean quitting. It means, well, let's look at another way that I can drum up business. And this is anybody with a small business. Let's look at another way. This does not seem to be working. Can I cut my costs somewhere else so that maybe I'm not putting as much money into marketing, but I'm putting it into different networking events or meeting people through other people or calling them or emailing them. You know, or think outside the box. You know, maybe you can have a little open house at your own house, invite people that'll be half the cost, but they're coming to you rather than you going out to them, and make it worthwhile for them. Make it so that it's a win-win. You know, I do believe when we're trying to make something happen, that it should be a win-win. It shouldn't all be about, okay, I got to get my business going. I got to get this up and running. I got to move forward with this. I don't want to give up, but it's all about me, me, me. And I really believe that when we set up scenarios in our business for our dreams, whatever it is, when we set up scenarios that it's a win-win, that we're going to win, the other person is going to win. That just puts out so much positive karma and juju and whatever it is. It just puts out so much goodness because you're doing it to help yourself and you're going to help somebody else. And to me, win-wins are the things that will really catapult us forward in a positive way. You know, giving up is tough. I remember this photograph that I've seen so many times. I don't know where I saw it online, and it was a man like with an axe chiseling through like a tunnel. And the thing is, you don't know when that breakthrough is going to come. You don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, 5 years, 10 years. I don't know when my breakthrough is going to come. I have no idea. But the picture of the guy with the axe, he's digging through a tunnel, and the thing is, there's this much space in between him and the breakthrough, where sometimes we think it could be 40 miles, and maybe sometimes it is. But in this picture, it's such a good reminder to me and to everybody else that, wow, you're almost there. Just keep on going. You're almost there. I think one of the struggles, too, that I have with my business is that I work at 24/7 and my head is spinning. I'm doing 18 different things at once rather than really focusing on the things that I really think I should be focusing on. And sometimes that I need to take a deep breath and I need to sit in the quiet, and I need to maybe sit in the quiet, meditate for, I don't know, 20 minutes, a half an hour some days. Like, what is it that I really want? What is it that's going to help me move forward in the future? What is it of myself that I want to give to other people? And recently it dawned on me that I have been working on my second book for probably 2 years, not every day, kind of, but you know, it's been in the works. And recently, it just came to me when I was quiet, when I was still, when I was thinking. I'm like, the book is the thing that I need to get done. It's not going to bring me any money doing it. It's not going to give me any clients actually writing it. But it is something that I want to get out there because I think it's an important message. So yesterday, for example, I spent 16 hours. I got up early and I worked till midnight, 16 hours on writing my book. And whereas last week I wanted to just give up and just like, I'm just going to go, you know, get a job sweeping floors and that's it. I just can't do it anymore. I felt that despair. And then I had a little bit of quiet time, and I'm like, okay, what do I really need to do? Writing the book was something that, okay, first and foremost, that's got to go at the top of my list. So after yesterday, it's funny because I've been working on it all along, but never 16 hours. That's brutal. I have such an excited adrenaline going. I am pumped. I can't wait to go home tonight and write some more and finish it. And I feel like it's coming together now. I had worked so much yesterday that it was all like, you know, a story here, a story there, a chapter here, a chapter there. But now I can actually see it, and it's exciting to me. It is just, I know it's going to be done soon. I know it's going to be done in the summer. And I'm like, okay, this is an accomplishment. This is something that I've wanted to do, and I'm doing it. Regardless of the outcome, my dream is to share what I've learned, what I know, the pain that I've been through, and the triumph that I live now. So I know this is going to help people. And it is a win-win, because once I get the book out there, people will hopefully benefit from what I've been through and how I've gone through things and kind of ended up on the other side. And it'll be a win for me, because my hard work is finally being out there to help, which is what I really want to do. So as I'm thinking about it now, I'm kind of excited. The thing is, with our dreams and hopes and goals, they don't go as planned all the time. I can have this idea in my head that this is what I want, and think, okay, well, how I'm going to get there is by going this way, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And you know what? 9 out of 10 times it does not happen the way we think it's going to happen. I do believe in a big, grander plan out there. I wish life worked backwards, so we could know, okay, on this date in 2025, your dreams are going to come true, but you have to go through all these other years and all this other stuff to get there. As long as I know I'm going to get there, I would be fine. But that's having faith, that's having trust in ourselves and in the universe and in God, that our plans will come to fruition, or that our dreams will come true. But talking with so many people, they're rarely the way we want them to be. So it's kind of thing like you got to hang in there and just keep on moving forward. And, you know, the only time I would say to, you know, change direction or give up is when you know in your gut and your heart that this is not what you thought it was going to be. This is not what you dreamed about. It's not making you happy. It's not making other people happy. Because I do know every time that I do a coaching gig, every time that I have a workshop or a class or speaking, I know the feeling that I get, that it's fabulous, it's wonderful, it's right. But if I'm bringing in $30 a week, I have to be reasonable and use common sense and know, well, you know, for right now, I need to have a full-time job in order to support my family, in order to support myself, in order to live right and not, you know, have Roman noodles all every day, which I did in college. But so you have to be reasonable and have common sense about your goals. You can't just, you know, if you have 4 kids, you can't just say, oh, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to go, you know, try to be a bowling professional and, you know, never have bowled a lane in your life. And you just have to be reasonable. But I know so many of you out there have this dream and have these things that you want to do in your life, and you're just either stuck or you're done, you want to give up, and I encourage you not to. If you are stuck where you are and don't know where to turn, my biggest advice, I guess, is to find someone who does something similar to what you want to do. If it's, you know, write a letter to them. If you don't know them, send an email, call them, and just say, can we just talk for a few minutes or half an hour so I can understand how you got to where you are, what steps you needed to take. Because a lot of times people don't know how to get there is because they're not educated enough. I didn't know how to write a book. I didn't know how to do all these things that I'm doing. I had no idea, but I learned as I went. And I hired people to help me. My niece, who helped me with my lack of computer skills. That is one thing it's just not me. And I knew that it would take me 15 times longer to do something than it would take her. So I'm like, well, in this particular case, it's a good thing for me to hire somebody to help me through. So there are all little things along the way. If you know you can't do it or you don't want to do it, and if it's better to hire somebody out, you could barter with them. You know, if somebody's a wonderful at computer skills and you're great at artwork, maybe you guys can barter some way. you know, or they could clean your garage out while you're helping them with their computers. You know, just there's so many creative ways to do things. It's just important to stick with it. I think that's the biggest thing, to stick with it. Find a way to make it work. You know in your heart of hearts, you know what you want and you know what your desires are. You know that. So don't give up. Even if something little happens on the day that you don't give up, write it in your journal. Write it in your journal. There will be days when you get discouraged. There will be days when you just get so frustrated. And maybe take a vacation from it. You know, there have been times where I've had to like sit back and say, okay, I need to take a break from this because my mind is going a million miles an hour. I'm not comfortable. I'm not resting in the joy of the process. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take 2 weeks off. And on Monday, the 23rd, I'm going to go back at it and start working at it. And I'm going to work at it from these times during this day. And to me, that helped me because I had a vacation from it. So I could turn my brain off and kind of regroup and reset. I think that's really, really important. That has been very important for me. That resetting to think, okay, if this is not working, okay, I'm going to take a break, and what could work? And by talking with other people, by just having conversations with them, you'll learn so much more, and you'll be more confident because you'll have more knowledge. Giving up is easy to do. It is very easy to do, but there are people out there that need your gifts, your talents, your heart, your kindness. There are people, your encouragement. People need that. And if nothing else, we are all in this world together. And to help each other out, to encourage each other, to be able to just get in communion with each other, or community. It's so important. So I encourage you, please, please don't give up. As I'm talking now, I'm thinking about some of my own stuff, and I'm like, I'm just never going to give up. I may get discouraged, I may get aggravated, I may get like, I don't want to do this anymore. But bottom line is, as long as I'm living on this earth, I know I have gifts to give, and I am going to stick with it until I'm lying horizontal and I can't do anything about it. So I encourage you, be blessed, be hopeful for a wonderful, inspired life. And we'll see you next time. This is Moving Forward with Gayle Suzanne. You can contact me at gayle@gaylesuzanne.com. It's on the screen. And I hope to hear from you. And if you want to contact me to get a little encouragement, I am more than willing to talk and uplift your spirits. So be blessed, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.